Good morning. Welcome to yoga. It's wonderful to be with all of you yogis today. This is the third YouTube video that we've made during this time of distancing. And it gives me energy and strength to be with you, as I hope you find in your practice as well. I'm reading from a book called Radical Acceptance. It's by Tara Brach, PhD. And she writes, the renowned 7th century Zen master, Sang San, taught that true freedom is being without anxiety about imperfection. Being without anxiety about imperfection. This means accepting our human existence and all of life as it is. Tough for right now, isn't it? Imperfection is not our personal problem. It is a natural part of existing. D.H. Lawrence, novelist and poet, described our Western culture as being like a great uprooted tree with its roots in the air. He wrote, "We are perishing for lack of fulfillment of our greater needs. We are cut off from the great sources of our inward nourishment and renewal. We come alive as we discover the truth of our goodness and our natural connectedness to all of life." So we accept that imperfection is a natural part of living this worldly life. But we also know that we have a true connection to the Absolute. And part of practicing yoga is a way of regaining, rediscovering, reconnecting with our truest self. Let's take a nice, long, deep breath. And exhale. Again, belly, ribs, upper body, and exhale. One more like that. In yoga, we call it 3-part breath. Learning to breathe into our belly is essential to have the fullest capacity of air that we can take in. It's also important for massaging the abdomen, for using the diaphragm fully. And again. Continue with your breathing in 3 parts and a nice, long, smooth exhale. So there is a mantra, it's called the So-Hum mantra, and the idea, part of the idea is that our intake of breath sounds like so, and our outtake sounds like hum. In Sanskrit, So-Hum means I am that. I am that Absolute. I am that divine self. I am that true self. So let's continue with the 3-part breath. But on the inhale, you will, inside your mind or verbally actually say so. And as you exhale, hum. Let's turn the tree around. We don't need to be uprooted. We can put the roots back into the earth. We can ground ourselves in who we really are, not preoccupied by imperfection. Inhale, so. Exhale, hum. Carry on with that for 3 or 4 breaths. So, hum. Great. And let's circle the spine to wake up the energy that's coiled at the base of our tailbone. Use the breath as the melody that takes you through this dance. And let's reverse. Maybe like a big circle. Maybe a small one. Listen to your body. This is your class. And with the idea of acceptance, a radical acceptance, accepting the imperfections that we perceive in the relative body, we don't worry about it. We do what we can do. And our yoga practice is coming to neutral, is about tuning in to the body, to what we feel we can do today, to accepting that, and always with the idea, always with the intent that we are rooting, the roots are rooting into the earth. The tree is upright. We are in touch with our absolute selves, our true selves. And so all of these external imperfections, we don't worry about. Bring your right, I don't have to mirror. Bring your left hand to the mat. Your right arm extends up and over. Come high, get tall, really get tall. Pull up out of the hips. Lengthen through the ribs, lengthen through the underarms, and then begin to fold over. Getting a lot of nice length from your the joints in your hip and your femur, all the way up through your fingertips. So, hum. And coming back. Inhale, palm is up, other hand. Inhale. Let's get length first. Inhale for length. Exhale to fold over. Continue to breathe. So, hum. People practice yoga for many reasons. They come to yoga because somebody told them it will help them relax. Let's take our fingers behind our back, and that's true. I'm going to come up on my fingertips on my back, and I'm going to open across the chest, really open across the chest. Some people do it because it's a great workout. They enjoy the stretching. It feels good in their body. But ultimately, most of us come to realize that yoga back to a rooted nature so that we truly are grounded. Our roots are held by the earth, embraced by the earth, and our trunk is strong and balanced, and we know our true self. We come to experience the true or the absolute self in the practice of yoga, and we shed all the imperfections or our perception of the imperfections. Bring your hands in front of you. Walk them out just a little bit. Now here, let's come back to neutral. Raise the shoulders. Take the shoulders back. Slide the shoulder blades down the back. Press the tips of the shoulder blades into the back ribs. Open across the collarbone. Now we're going to begin to walk that forward walk with our hands, keeping the sternum, allowing the sternum to lead. Keeping a nice flat back. So, hum. Bringing your right hand, your right palm, to your left knee. We're going to come bringing the other arm around and back. We're going to come to a kind of a twist. It's going to be a gentle twist, but before we begin, ground down in the sits bones, rise up, really rise up through the spine, through the crown of the head, and then begin to twist at the belly button. It's not the shoulder that's leading, it's the middle of the body. Just a nice, gentle twist. Inhale and exhale. In yoga, we generally inhale as we lengthen, and we exhale as we ground down, or we press ourselves into the firm foundation, and at the same time, we lengthen through the body. Coming back to neutral, let's try that on the other side. So then bring the other hand to the knee. This arm is going to swing around back a little bit. We're going to inhale as we lengthen. Exhale as we begin to twist from the belly button. So, hum. So, hum. Great. Now let's bring our legs, I'm sitting on a blanket because that helps me sit upright. It's generally recommended. Helps me keep the spine straight. I'm going to remove my socks because I had chilly toes this morning. Great. Okay. Let's circle the spine once again. Waking up energy and the other direction. Bring the hands behind us, broaden across the back once again. Broaden across the collarbone and the chest. Send the heart out and up. I'm waking up for you. Inhale and exhale. Once again, let's walk our hands out in front of us. With the shoulders back, broad across the collarbone, and get a little stretch there. and come back to upright. Let's change the cross of our legs. Okay. You may want to continue to be on a blanket. You may want to be sitting on a bolster. It's really, really important to listen to your body and to follow the message that your body has for you about what's right for you. Because this is all about mindfulness, just the general practice of being in the present moment. And in yoga, we can begin that with our breath and with consciousness of our bodies. So let's bring the right ear to the right shoulder. And come back. Let's bring the left ear to the left shoulder. Back to neutral. Good. We forget about our neck. We forget about our throat and our neck, unless we have a sore throat. Okay, let's bring our chin to our chest. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale the chin up. Exhale down. Coming back to neutral. Let's look over our right shoulder. Back to neutral. Let's look over the left shoulder. And come back to neutral. This time we're going to begin circling with the chin. So inhale the chin up. Take the chin to the right shoulder. Bring it to the chest, to the left shoulder, and back up. So let's inhale as we take the chin down, and let's exhale as we bring it back up. So inhale, chin to the right shoulder, chin to the chest. Exhale, chin to the left shoulder, chin up. And continue with that movement. Matching your breath to your movement. Being mindful of where you feel stuck. Maybe pausing if there's a certain place where you feel some resistance. And bring the face and the neck and the head to neutral. Let's go in the other direction. So we're going to inhale the chin up. Exhale to the left shoulder. And down. Inhale, right shoulder, and up. Continue to your own breath. And coming back to neutral. Let's bring our legs out in front of us in Dandasana, staff pose. Staff pose is a very powerful pose, and we don't always realize that. We know maybe we don't like it, or maybe we like it. So I'm going to remove the flesh from the sits bones and really ground down in the sits bones, pressing down in the backs of my legs, really engaging the backs of my legs and all the energy points that are along there into the earth. So now that I'm fully engaging the legs, pressing down in the sits bones, I'm going to bring my shoulders up and around and back. And bring the belly in and bring it in and up under the belly button, up under the ribs. I'm going to tuck the chin slightly. Dandasana. If this pose is fully implemented, we should feel that in the core. And inhale and exhale. Great. Okay, let's come to hands and knees. I suggest that you place a blanket under your legs, under your knees. If your knees are sensitive at all, I think you're going to want to have a blanket under there. And an ordinary blanket is fine. Let's come here to hands and knees. Knees are under hips. Palms of hands are under shoulders. Feet are flat. I'm going to inhale and lower my belly. Raise my head up. And exhale to arch my back. We call this cat-cow. The movement begins with a tailbone, and then we notice each vertebra making that transition from one curve to the opposite curve. We do this all the time, we know it well, but let's know it in a new way. Let's pretend like we've never done cat-cow before. Let's really tune in to the sensations. Come to an arched back and push all the way back. We call this extended cat. Inhale forward, lower the belly into cow. Exhale, cat, extended cat. Carry that to your own breath and your own time. Taking your time. There's no hurry. There's nowhere we need to be, and there's nothing else we need to do. If our mind flies off to something that is bothering us, something that's challenging us, something that's distracting us, we acknowledge it and we let it go. So let's walk the hands out and come down on the elbows maybe, find our way to our bellies. Right now, my elbows are under my shoulders. I'm broadening across the chest. I'm broadening across the collarbone. This is Sphinx pose. I'm maintaining the breath. Notice the slight curve in the lower back. Here we're building, muscle strength in the back when we do these back bends, even slight ones. And that helps to hold up the body. That helps to make space for us to fully breathe, for our organs to work. And come down, bring your hands, your palms are stacked, forehead on the palms. Take a moment here in a mini Shavasana to notice how you're feeling. Breathe. We have to be able to relax in a moment's notice, despite whatever stress, whatever experience we're having. And taking these mini Shavasanas will help us with that. Bring the palms of the hands alongside under the shoulders, actually. Elbows are up, arms are in close. And let's come into a small cobra, a low cobra. Notice that the curve in the back, the curve of the spine, is in a little bit different space, part of the spine, than it was when we did Sphinx. See if you can lift your hands off the mat. Now bring the palms to the mat. We're going to slide the hands back alongside the ribs. Not all the way back, but alongside the ribs, keeping the elbows bent, keeping the arms in close to the body. Come into a high cobra. Now, the hips are still on the mat. The arms are bent. But there's more areas of the spine are stretching and curving and bending, and we are breathing. Come back down. Bring the palms of your hands to the mat. Stack the hands. Bring the forehead to the palms. Notice your breath. Notice how you feel. Was it a relief to get out of that? Or did you want more of it? Just notice, don't judge. Now, bring the hands back alongside the shoulders, sliding them back along the ribs, and then bring your hands back as far as they will go alongside the body, okay, without lifting up. So you'll get to a point where you can't keep the palms on the mat, and that's gone too far. So palms are on the mat, and we're going to push up into what's called upward facing dog. Maybe you'll want to lift the thighs off the mat. Arms are now extended. And breathe. So, hum. Try to keep the shoulders away from the ears. And let's lower back down. Stack the hands. Bring the forehead to the palms. Taking a mini Shavasana. Survey the body. We are right here, right now. This is all there is. Bring your hands to the mat. Push yourself up into hands and knees. Let's walk the hands over to the right. Taking the left hand, slide it under the right arm. Bring the left shoulder to the mat. Buttocks is in the air. Bring the right arm around if that feels good. If not, you can leave it right here. Actually, you can do what your body's telling you to do. And breathe. Bring the right palm to the floor. Untwist. Come around to neutral. Back to hands and knees. This time, let's take the right hand and the right palm, slide it through, like threading the needle. Come up on the shoulder, buttocks in the air. And if you like, you can bring the opposite arm around in a kind of a bind. Notice the breath. Let's unravel. Back to hands and knees. Palms on the mat. Toes together. Knees apart. Child's pose. Take hold of the mat on either side and pull the mat away from you. This will help you send the buttocks back to the heels. And bring the hands to the mat, forehead to the mat. This may be too much today, and you may want to stack a block right under your head. And that might be where you should be today. Three breaths. Come to hands and knees. Going to step the right foot between the hands. Tuck the back toe. Bring the left foot forward between the hands. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Line the fingertips with the toe tips, working to eventually bring the palms fully to the mat. Bend the knees and place your chest on the thighs. Now we're going to begin to straighten the legs, keeping the chest on the thighs. Let's try it again. Bring the chest to the thighs and begin to straighten the legs. With a long spine and a flat back, inhale halfway up, bringing the hands to the shins, maybe to the thighs, or maybe to the floor. Lengthen through the back. Lengthen through the spine, tailbone to crown of head, nice and long. And forward fold. With arms wide, we're going to inhale up with a flat back. And exhale to prayer. Inhale, arms overhead. Internally rotate the arms so the baby fingers are facing each other. And it may be that your body is asking for a little back bend here. Or a big one. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, arms wide and overhead. With the arms alongside the ears, leading with the sternum, keeping a flat back, fold forward at the groin. Inhale, halfway up, long back. Exhale, forward fold. Step the right foot back. Bring the right knee to the mat, top of the foot to the mat. Sink the hips, look up. Tuck the back toe. Bring the front foot to meet the back foot. Plank pose. Plakasana. Mindfully press the palms of the hands into the earth so that the energy centers in the palms and the fingertips is absorbing energy. Send the heels back, engage the belly. Lower the knees, lower the feet. Keeping the elbows in, bring the chest to the mat. Slide through, little cobra. Exhale down. Inhale, child's pose. Exhale here. Tuck the toes. Inhale, downward facing dog. Come up on the tiptoes so you get the sits bones up high, really high. Get lots of height. Now begin to lower the feet. Bring your awareness to the length created between the sits bones, between the tailbone and the crown of the head. And then from the sits bones all the way to the fingertips, and lots of length here. Send a heart to the thighs, almost like a down dog. Relax your face. Relax your neck. Bring the knees to the mat. Step the left foot between the hands. I like to create a little bit of length here. I like to stretch out a little bit more, but that may not be right for you. Knee is over heel. Sink the hips and look up. Tuck the back toe. Straighten the leg. Step the back foot forward between the hands. Uttanasana, forward fold. The heart is higher than the head, and that creates a very calming effect for the mind. You may have blocks here. Your body may tell you that right here is where you need to be today, and that is just perfect. Inhale halfway up, hands to the shins, lengthen through the back. Exhale down. Arms wide, flat back. Inhale all the way up. Bringing your hands to your heart. So let's do that sequence a little faster this time. Inhale, arms widen up. Exhale, forward fold, arms at the ears. Inhale, halfway up, long back. Exhale, forward fold. Sit the left foot back. Bring the left knee to the mat. Sink the hips and look up. Take the front foot to meet the back foot, plank pose. Engage the belly. Knees to the mat. Elbows bent, arms in, chest to the mat. Slide through, little cobra. Exhale down. Inhale, child's pose to get a long stretch in the lower back. Creating flexibility there instead of a muscle clump. Tuck the toes. Inhale, downward facing dog. Step the left foot between the hands. Bring the knee to the mat. Sink the hips, look up. Tuck the back toe. Bring the back foot to meet the front foot. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms wide, all the way up. And bring the hand to prayer. Hands alongside the body. Excuse me while I adjust the furniture. Hands alongside the body. Maybe you can externally rotate the arms so the eyes of the elbow are facing forward. Tuck the tailbone under and raise the pubis. Ground down in the soles of the feet. Feel the arches rise up. Knees come up. Legs are engaged fully. Once again, tuck the tailbone, raise the pubis. Bring the belly button in and under, up, under, the abdomen in and under the belly button, under the ribs. Shoulders are rolled back, shoulder blades slide down the back. Chin is parallel to the floor. Maybe tuck slightly to lengthen the back of the neck. Tadasana, mountain pose. And breathe. Bring your hands to your heart. Step the right foot back. The toes of the right foot are pointed to the right top corner of the mat. It may be useful to pick up that back foot, set it out, creating a little bit of space in the track between the feet. I like to lengthen my stance. Lower the tailbone, raise the pubis, Swing the hip of the back leg forward and the hip of the front leg back. Again, tuck the tailbone. Engage the belly. Now we're ready to bend the front knee. Track it over the baby toe, maybe over the middle toe. Don't go any further than knee over heel. Now inhale, arms up. Picture the lengthening of the spine in two directions. Tailbone is headed down. Crown of head is headed up. Breathe. Holding these poses are really important for building strength and bone density. Bring your hands to your hips. Straighten the front leg. Pick up the back foot, bring it forward. Maybe take it out some. Coming into pyramid pose. Straighten the front leg. Bending at the groin with a flat back, shoulders are back, leading with the spine, elbows are bent. Folding forward. Maybe this is where you should be today, because the tendency will be to do this, and we don't want to do that. So we're really working on keeping those shoulders back and down. And folding at the groin. And maybe, if you feel uncomfortable here, come out and come back in, and you might feel better. This might be a place where you would like to use blocks. That might be a really good thing. Lengthen through the spine and fold a little more. Lengthen through the spine and fold a little more. Bringing the palms of the hands to the mat, maybe behind your leg, maybe to blocks. Notice the breath. We're not focusing on perfection. We're focusing on the absolute self, the true self, the goodness that dwells in all of us, that we cover over with all of our busy lives. We bend the front knee and rise back up. Step the back foot to meet the front foot. Let's take a moment here. Into Tadasana, grounding into the feet. Lifting the arches, raising the kneecaps, engaging the muscles, bringing muscle to bone in the legs, tucking the tailbone, raising the pubis, engaging the belly, shoulders are back, collarbone is wide. Lengthen the back of the neck. Relax the arms. Step the left, I'm going to move over here. Step the left foot back. Left toes are pointed to the top left corner of the mat. Bring your hands to your hips. Swing the back hip forward. Swing the hip of the front leg back. Tuck the tailbone under, raise the pubis. Engage the belly, pull it in, pull it up and under the ribs. Maybe you want to lengthen the space between the 2 feet. Maybe you want to widen the railroad track. Maybe not. tuck the tailbone. Now begin to bend the front knee. Look down and see, make sure you can see your toes. Track it over your baby toe. Lower the tailbone. And arms are up, overhead. Perhaps the arms are internally rotated so the baby fingers are toward each other. Maybe your body is asking for a little back bend here. Bring the palms together with the index fingers pointed up. Bring the arms to the hands to the waist. Straighten the front leg. Pick up the back foot, shorten the stance. Tuck the tailbone under. Engage the belly. Arms in by the body. Elbows are bent. Forward fold. Keeping the collarbone wide, sending the heart out. Flat back. Lead with the sternum. Maybe you'll want to slide your hands down your legs. Maybe you want to take your hands to a block or to the floor. Notice the breath. So, hum. We let the poses find us. We don't go pushing ourselves and forcing ourselves into a pose. That wouldn't be asana. That wouldn't be yoga. It's extremely important to go where your body's telling you to go. We're going to give effort. We're going to go to the edge, but we're not going to go to where there's pain or injury. Press into the feet, bend the front knee, hands to the hips, and come up. Step the back foot to meet the front foot. We really need to do a balance pose every day. Include balance poses in our practice. So we'll come to a tree pose, and for you, a tree pose may be a simple kickstand, and I'll show you. We're not forcing ourselves into heel into the groin and falling over unless we're ready for that. So let's take our time. Bend the right knee, externally rotate the right leg. Bring the heel to the calf, right here. This is called kickstand. This is a perfectly wonderful balancing pose. Inhale, arms overhead, and this is great. Maybe your tree pose allows you to place your foot on your calf. Not feeling very strong these days, but breathe. Bring your hands to prayer, knee forward, lower the foot. And when you come into tree, find a focal point about 3 feet out. That will help you. Bend the left knee, externally rotate it. Find your tree here, or here, or here. Not for me today. Okay, raise the arms. We're pulling in on both sides of the hips. We're lengthening through the body, pulling up. We're grounded in the foot, the standing foot, but we're also lifting up through the body. Finding our focal point. Bring your hands to your heart, knee is forward, and place the foot down. Stepping to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms widen up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Come to hands and knees. And walk yourself down to your belly. Bridge, coming into bridge pose. Bring the arms. You can bring the arms alongside the body. We can't do bridge pose this way. We have to do bow this way. Okay. Oh my. Bend the knees. And bring hands to ankles. This may be it for you today. This might be a good stretch for you today. You may want to lift the legs. You may want to lift the torso. Lower down. Oh, that felt good. Let's roll over to our back. Now we really will do bridge. See, my body knows what it needs before my brain tells me. Lal Maharaj says, your body has news for you. So the knees are bent, legs are parallel. I position my feet so that I can graze my heels with my fingertips. I tuck my shoulders under. Now pressing, I like to fold my arms, bend my elbows, so I can press into the backs of my upper arms. I can press into my shoulders, pressing into my feet. I'm going to lift my hips. Send the sternum toward the chin. We don't bring the chin to the sternum. We send the sternum to the chin because a lot of the curvature in bridge pose is in the upper back. Pressing into the shoulders. Breathe. Inhale a little higher. So, hum, and come back down. This time I suggest you go back, keeping your feet positioned for bridge. We're going to do a supported bridge. So this is fine right here. The block is right to your lower back, under your sacrum, and raise the feet. Waterfall. Maybe you like to have arms and legs up. I've always liked it this way. Notice the breath. Take 3 more nice, long rounds of breath in this inversion. lower the feet to the mat. Lift the hips and remove the block. With your arms out to T, bend your knees into your chest. Now there's several ways to do this twist. You may want to keep one leg extended and the other leg is going to twist over. You may want to twist both knees bent over, or you may want to cross your legs. So let's fall. Allow the legs to fall gently to the left, keeping both shoulder blades on the mat. Looking out over the right arm. Breathe. Bring your knees back to center. If they're crossed, uncross. And extend or cross the other leg, whatever position is you prefer today. Allow the knees to fall to the right and look out over the left. Both shoulder blades are on the mat. Are you breathing? Return the knees. Knees are bent over your belly. Place the hands on the kneecaps and just roll the knees around in a circle. And then the other way, it's a nice massage for the lower back. Bring the soles of the feet together in a supine cobbler's pose. It may be that you can push the legs away from the body with the elbows. And breathe. Bring your feet to the mat, stretch out, come into Shavasana. I encourage you to separate your feet. Allow your feet to roll out. Your legs are going to externally rotate. Externally rotate the arms. Tuck the shoulders under the back. Palms are facing the ceiling. Arms are 6 to 8 inches from the body. Take a nice long breath here. Or two. I'm going to leave you here in Shavasana so you can stay as long as you like. This is relaxation pose. It's complete relaxation. It helps to integrate all of the work you did through the class. And complete relaxation is essential to build our immune system, to strengthen our body, to calm our mind, and to bring us to the awareness of who we really are, bringing us to the absolute, to the true self. No attention to the imperfections. That's part of the relative world. But in the absolute world, we are free. Namaste.